що ми це відстоїмо. Слава Україні! Sorry, I took a break to transition to Ukrainian because I am proud of my language and I'm proud of hearing such a wonderful performance, two such wonderful performances. Thank you all for braving the cold and for staying. The next speaker I'd like to introduce is another co-organizer, Ms. Nadia McConnell. She is the president of the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation and a supporter of Ukraine's independence and rights for many decades. Nadia, please.
How does anybody follow those two absolutely beautiful, amazing voices that we heard from? Fortunately, some of the words I will be telling you are not mine, you know, we've been supporting U.S.-Ukraine relations since our founding in 1990, and we have believed that a strategic partnership between Ukraine and the United States is more than needs to be deeper than the bilateral. We believe it needed to go down to the grassroots, and I am therefore proud that we were able to bring thousands of what I call non-hyphenated Americans to Ukraine to form those bonds that have lasted for decades. 2 days ago, I received this message as I was struggling to decide what I was going to say, and I decided to just read this to you. This is from Sandy Turner, who participated in our community partnership projects from Athens, Georgia. She writes, on September 15, 2001, I flew to Lviv, Ukraine on one of the first planes to leave the United States after 9/11. I was headed to Kamenets-Podilsky, a medieval town full of castles and history, as part of the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation's Community Partnership Program, CPP we called it. The team made up of representatives from the University of Georgia and Unified Government of Athens-Clarke County, Georgia. We were going to work with our Ukrainian peers to strengthen local government services. The first thing I noticed was the color of the soil. It was a black so dark and so rich, I have never been able to describe its intensity or fragrance, minerals so dense, I could smell them from our van. It helped me understand why I had grown up knowing Ukraine as the breadbasket of Europe. The most important impression I have of Ukraine is the kindness of the people. We were treated like royalty. Every meeting started with gifts, local delicacy, and vodka, even at 10 in the morning. Our host wanted to know us as people first. They took us to see the natural treasures in the countryside. They took us to schools to meet the future of their country, kids in their late 20s now, and deeply impacted by this senseless war. They performed traditional dances and taught us to dance them. They made us bread and blintzes and borscht. Every meal ended with toast, sappy and profound, and to the horses. Toasting in Ukraine is an art form full of structure and tradition. The first toast is to the meeting. The third toast is always to women and love. And the 10th toast to gratitude. And yes, you always get there. And so on until you get to the aforementioned horses. Well, really, this is what they say in Ukraine, na konya, which means one for the road. The memory that haunts me today is from a late night with our translator, Yaroslav, talking about things politically inclined Americans talk about: equality, gay rights, music, elected officials. Yaroslav was silent. At some point, we asked his thoughts. He said, I quote, "You all speak with such freedom. We could never talk with such abandon for fear of retribution," unquote. Independence had come to Ukraine 10 years earlier, and the specter of the Soviet Union with its repression and violence loomed large in their psyche even still. We fell silent. The sudden knowledge of our privilege cutting through the vodka and the revelry. We have no idea what it is to live like this. Tonight, I'm praying for all of Ukraine, my friends and those I've never met, and I'll make a ninth toast to the warriors with a prayer they go home soon, safe to their loved ones. I don't think I could have said anything better. March is Shevchenko month. And of course, all of you know that I always have to bring him into the picture. So here in Washington at 22nd and P is the Shevchenko monument that we worked very hard to get erected, because even then, Soviet propaganda attacked the idea of placing this monument here in Washington. And Taras Shevchenko wrote in 1845, "How long must we await our Washington with a new and righteous law? Our wait indeed won't be in vain." Since independence, the people of Ukraine have been building that system of fair and just laws. The statue you see on this slide is one in Chernihiv. When I saw it a few years even before the war in 2014, I was struck by it because here, this is Chernihiv, that now has been destroyed, a beautiful city. And we see Shevchenko and modern-day Ukrainians on that bench, and that little girl leaning into Taras Shevchenko. I will end with another quote that is on the monument here in Washington, and it says, "Fight, you'll win the fight. God is helping you. Behind you stands the truth and sacred liberty as well." This is what the people of Ukraine are fighting for: sacred liberty. We have all been struck by the worldwide outpouring of support. It's a phenomena that I think we still have yet to really understand and appreciate. And we welcome all the people that are standing with Ukraine, but specifically the people of Ukraine. Just yesterday, I met a few people who want to lend their talents to join us in this struggle to get what people of Ukraine need, besides the weapons that they're not asking us to fight their fights, they just want the tools to fight them. The humanitarian crisis that looms. We launched Operation Ukraine Airlift, because unlike when we worked with United Help Ukraine in 2014-15, we were sending ships. And of course, that just not is good enough. So we have to find ways to get to airlift it. There's been a lot of suggestions of things that we can do and ask for. I'd like to just add one very specific thing. I have worked with Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur in 2015 and today to see if we can get our government to allow the National Guard to help deliver humanitarian assistance. This is something that I think we should be able to do now. I want to introduce, as I say, we just met yesterday, and I'd like to introduce George Kozakos, nice, good Ukrainian name, no, Greek, who came in from California to help join in this struggle, and also Ben Lorenzen. I have a hard time with these ethnic names. A third person I'd like to introduce and actually invite to say a couple of words is Brian Hardgroove from the legendary hip-hop group Public Enemy, and also WeCare.world. Brian. Okay. All right.
I got you. Hi. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all out here. It would be nice if it was under a different circumstance, but we're here. All right. I started my career far enough back to have been behind the Iron Curtain, or close to it. Okay, in Berlin, and it was ugly. Wasn't pretty at all. And we do not need to go back to those days. The people of Ukraine don't want it. No one wants it. The Russian people don't want it. And I've got friends from all around the world. I've got lots of Russian friends and more Ukrainian friends than I realized, that I'm finding out are Ukrainian. And these are the worst circumstances to find that out. But as musicians, we're blessed to see the best side of people. And Ben, my brother, Ben Lorenzen, we've been in bands together since we were kids, sort of. And he outgrew me, but it's okay. And we decided to freshly mint a new organization called WeCare. And the website should be up in about a couple of hours, WeCare.world. And we have committed to bringing as many of our musician friends as we can to this very spot, teaming up with Nadia next May 21st. Okay, so we'll get the information out to you, and hopefully we'll see you here back. And we're going to make as much noise as we can. Get the people of the United States to stand up, speak up, and get our government moving. We elect representatives, not leaders, okay? Always remember that. We elect representatives, and we must get them to represent what we want done in this world, all right? And our brothers and sisters need us, and we cannot turn our back now. And this is for everyone. Ukraine, this has to end. This type of calcification and just letting things happen, it needs to end with this, hopefully, final ridiculous aggression. All right, so we're here for you, and we'll be back. And God bless you. All right.